Hello my dears, and welcome to my channel. As always, I am very happy and grateful that you chose to spend your time with me, and supporting my channel is really easy. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, or click on the notification bell of when you'd like to be notified of when I drop a new video. And I hope that you're all doing well, but if not, I do hope things will get better for you soon. But if you want to forget about things for just a little while, join me in meeting Fallout, the official tarot deck. And the game was released on this date in 1997. And the bombs officially dropped October 23rd of 2077. And this deck was created by Tori Schafer and illustrated by Ronnie Senteno, I believe is how to pronounce it. Published by Inside Editions, released October 11th, 2021, and at that time it retailed for $27.99. And Tori has done a few other decks, mostly with Inside Editions. She worked on the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim Tarot, Hocus Pocus Tarot, and the Star Trek Next Generation Tarot. And I do have them on a playlist under Inside Editions or Tarot decks. And the box specs are 5.35, across is 3.75, and the width is 1.90, and it has thumb indents. And on the back we have some teaser cards, and it says explore your past, present, and future with this official tarot deck inspired by the unique world of Fallout 4, featuring original art of Vault Boy, Nick Valentine, John Hancock, and many more iconic figures from the world of Fallout. Okay, and when you open it up, it's just got this on the inside of the box, and then we have the guidebook, and we will go over this after we explore the cards. And it does have a ribbon so you can pull your cards out. The insert has Vault Boy, and it does come out if you need it to. If something happens to it, if it becomes ripped or damaged or anything, you can take it out if you so want to. I always have trouble putting these things back after I took them off. Okay. The cards themselves are standard Rider-Waite deck dimensions. And reversals will not be revealed by the artwork. With my tarot videos, I always do a side-by-side comparison, so you can kind of get an idea of the Rider-Waite comparative. And if you're interested in the Rider-Waite deck that I'm using, it is the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, published by US Game Systems, and you can try either US Game Systems or Amazon, because Amazon has everything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and name the different characters if they are listed in the guidebook. It's been a while since I've played Fallout, so I just needed to get a refresher from the guidebook. Alright, so we don't have Roman numerals on the major arcana. It'll just be regular numbers. And we start off with the Fool as the sole survivor. The Magician is Vault Boy. And I do like the illustrations. And the High Priestess is Piper Wright. The Empress is Pam, P-A-M. And I like the rustic kind of part of the card illustration. And then we have the Emperor, which is John Hancock. The Hierophant is Codsworth. The Lovers, Robert and Lucy McCready. The Chariot is Preston Garvey. Strength, they didn't give a character name, but this is basically a super mutant. The Hermit is Brian Virgil. The Wheel of Fortune is Mama Murphy. Justice is Nick Valentine. The Hanged Man is Dima. There wasn't a character for death. Character name, I should say. Just a little death guy. And Temperance is Curry. I think I said that right. The Devil is Conrad Kellige. The Tower is Paladin Dancy. I think that's how you say the last name. The Star is Desdemona. The Moon is Cart. I think I wrote that right. Kate? No, Kate. Can't even read my writing. And then we have the ever-loving dog meat as the sun. Ain't he cute? Judgment is the sole survivor. I think this is his son, if I'm not too mistaken. Sean, I think his name was. And then we have the World. Alright, so that is the Major Arcana. Next, they changed the names of the suits, and this is a pip deck. So we start off the Minor Arcana with the cups, and they are renamed lanterns. And this represents the railroad. And there aren't any Roman numerals or anything. It's just a number. And if you are not familiar with pip decks, as you can see, they are minimal illustrations with basically the number of what's supposed to be the card. So this one is the 3 of Cups, 3 of that suit. And they decided to do lanterns. So that's basically a pip deck. They do illustrate the Major Arcana. Sometimes I have seen minimal illustrations on the Major Arcana as well in a pip deck, but the majority of the time they will illustrate better the court cards and the Major Arcana. So and I am not a fan of pip decks. The only thing that I think they're good for is to learn numerology, and I do believe that numerology is a good thing to learn for tarot. And I feel that pip decks are a big missed opportunity, because the world of Fallout 4 is pretty big, and they could have done so much with the landscape, characters, but for whatever reason, they didn't. I don't know if it's copyright reasons or what it is, but if it's the official deck of Fallout 4, they should, I would imagine, have the rights to use images and stuff like that. I mean, they did in the Major Arcana, so. Alright, so we go into the court cards, and they did not give these any character names, according to the guidebook. There are no character names they're just random individuals. Which is another missed opportunity. But if you're a collector of Fallout 4 and you enjoy the game and the TV series, there's no reason why you shouldn't collect this deck. And I would never discourage anybody from buying a deck unless it was shabbily made. I mean, there are some people who really like pip decks, and there are others who don't. Everybody has their own take, I guess you could call it, or opinion. Alright, so we go on to the swords, which they have been renamed as steel, which represents the Brotherhood of Steel. And I do believe these are swords for the suit. All kinds of them. Okay, so that. And the next we have one I really was kind of disappointed in that they used to represent pentacles is synths, whereas they could have used the bottle caps of Nuka-Cola, because pentacles, if you are familiar with tarot, is about money, materialism, that kind of thing. So I'm baffled by their choice of synths for pentacles. They did write what it was in the guidebook. says that the suit of sense represents finance, earthly materials, and laborious pursuits. The members of its court, represented by the Institute, are hardworking and reliable. It corresponds with the element of earth. That's another thing that I'm really disappointed in, is they did not use the currency of Fallout 4. But these are just my opinions. You may think differently than I do, but I'm just throwing it in there. I can't get a hold of the cord. And they are kind of creepy looking. Okay. And lastly, we have the muskets, which represent the wands, and the Commonwealth Minutemen. And that is the deck itself. And let me know in the comments how you feel about who they picked for the Major Arcana, and if you think they should have done a little bit more with and it's kind of sad that they didn't even give the court card characters names or anything. But the cardstock inside editions, I will admit, even if I don't like their decks, for the most part. Their cardstock is always good. They've never had shabby cardstock, so it is very flexi-bendy. And it is a good medium between thick and thin. So it's a good size. Not too thin, not too thick. Okay, so let's explore this guidebook. And we have a content page. Then we go into the introduction. Just basically introduces you to the deck. And talks a little bit about the setting for Fallout. And then we go into understanding, and basically just goes into what a tarot deck is and its structure. Goes into the different suits, and I read you one of them, but goes into the background of the different suits and what they represent, what they assign them. Then they go into gender expression, which I don't think needed to be said, because in my opinion, tarot was constructed before there was, a gender expression. And that's what they assigned them. So people know, or, they should know that they can read tarot, whereas even though they've been assigned a female or a male person on the card, and there are some decks that have androgynous characters on it, but if people should know when reading tarot that it can be also seen as energy, masculine energy, feminine energy. And I don't think it needs to be said that you should look at it and read it as anything other than energy. I mean, if you want to say person, then that's fine. But that's just my opinion. And then we go into the major arcana. Then we have the Fool, and basically it's a title. Then we have a little bit about the illustration, and we have an upright and reversed. Then we go into the major arcana, and then we go into the minor arcana. And we start off with the muskets, and basically it's just a picture of the card, and then the title of the card, and upright and reversed. And then we go into the number of the suit. A lot of guidebooks will start with the ace in the beginning, but this one they decided to start with the king instead. And I guess that's a creative choice. And then we have, each section is colored, so I guess it would be easier to locate it? I don't know. Same thing. Let's see, steel. And then we have the lanterns. Okay. Then we go to readings. Caring for your deck. And these are basically guidelines, because you're going to develop your own way of caring for your deck. I do still read this because I'm always interested in seeing somebody else's way to suggest to caring for your deck and different things you can do to it. So it's totally up to you. And preparing. And I do believe that preparing to read tarot, when I read that in a guidebook, it's geared towards beginners. As the longer you read tarot, you will have your own, through trial and error, you will have your own way of reading tarot and how to prepare before it. And as you're doing your reading and then closing it out, if you do any kind of closing out. Then we have some spreads, the Fortune Finder, the Wisdom of the Wasteland, and Mama Murphy's Insight. We got about the author and the illustrator. Little things, little blurb. Okay, so shuffling should be relatively easy because they are so flexible and bendy. But if you have physical limitations, just shuffle however you can. There's no right or wrong way to shuffle. You can do the overhand shuffle. You can part them or cut them into piles and do it that way. Or you could do the fan. Just fan them out on your table. That, or you could just, if you're having trouble with your hands, you could just put it on the table and spread all the cards out and then pick them out that way. Side shuffling, I don't know if I would do it with these cards because they're not wide. They're not really wide enough, and as you can see, they're not really that great to shuffle that way. Alright, so let's see what card wants to pop up and say hi and give us a message. Six of Muskets, which is the Six of Wands. Alright, so let's see what we have to see. Six of Muskets. Okay, upright. Once a follower, now a leader, you find yourself weighted down by a heavy responsibility. Know that this power comes as a direct result of your accomplishments. Look towards your companions for aid if the burden becomes too much to bear. If it was reversed, you have failed an important mission. It is wise to learn from this failure, but do not be defeated by it. It is far more admirable to try and fail than to never accept the quest. Take time to rest and restock before taking on your next mission. Okay, I don't know if anybody needed to hear that, but that's pretty much all I have for this deck. Let me know what you think about it, pros and cons. If you got it, let me know how it's working out for you and if you're enjoying it or not. And if you bought it after seeing my video, let me know. I'm always interested in hearing from you guys. But if you made it to the end of the video, once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope that you will join me with another video. But until next time, take care and goodbye, my dears.